We are following a developing story in the cybersecurity world. Microsoft reporting a Russian-linked group behind last year's SolarWinds hack is attempting to disrupt the global IT supply chain. Let's get to Eamon Javers with the very latest. Eamon.
Melissa, Microsoft has found another wave of attacks by Russian intelligence that's just like that devastating SolarWinds hack that was revealed last year. That one was carried out by the Russian SVR intelligence service. This is another supply chain hack. It's targeting resellers and other technology service providers. The idea here is that the Russians hack into the suppliers' systems, and then when they integrate with their large corporate and government clients, the hackers gain access there, too, and that's the ultimate target here. Microsoft says between July 1st and October 19th of this year, they informed 609 customers that they'd been targeted 22,868 times by Nobelium, which is Microsoft's name for this group, which has been identified as the Russian SVR service. Microsoft says this is just an enormous increase in the nation-state hacking that they've observed over the past couple of years. And all of this comes as bad news for the Biden administration, which has been talking about the apparent lull in Russian ransomware hacking since the Biden-Putin summit in Geneva this past summer. But a U.S. government official says, based on the details in the Microsoft blog, the activities described were unsophisticated password spray and phishing run-of-the-mill operations for the purpose of surveillance that we already know are attempted every day by Russia. So, Melissa, the U.S. government official there, sort of minimizing this and portraying it as typical spy versus spy stuff that you're going to see every day of the week in Spyland. Back over to you.
All right, Eamon, thank you. Eamon Javers with the latest on that. Jeff Mills tells us that cybersecurity is still obviously a threat, something to be for money to be spent on. But where would you go?
Yeah, it absolutely is. I think it's the biggest threat, whether you're talking about corporate America or the government. And I rattled off some of these statistics on Friday in the 6 to 7 hour. I can't imagine all of our viewers weren't watching on a Friday from 6 to 7, but I'll just go over them again just in case. $20 billion companies spent on ransomware costs in 2020. 70% of the cyber attacks are small and medium-sized businesses. And then this is the big one. Only 10% of corporate IT spend is on cybersecurity right now. So a lot of these companies aren't necessarily cheap, but I do think there's a considerable amount of runway. So you think about a company like CrowdStrike, just for an example, somewhere around 40% year-over-year revenue growth, a really good recurring revenue stream, improving cash flow metrics. So that's a name that I like. And I'll just end with this. Mike Coe brought this up on Friday, too. I think it's an interesting sort of related benefit. When you're talking about that small and medium-sized business number, there could be a major benefit to cloud companies there. So these companies have a decision to make. The small, medium-sized businesses. Do we face this on our own, or do we leverage some of the network safety of these larger providers? So you think about AWS, Microsoft, the usual suspects. I thought that was an interesting observation.
Tim?
Well, again, you look at the addressable market for a company like CrowdStrike, and it's growing at 40% a year. They just gave a couple announcements. They've got 2 new modules that give them now 21, essentially, places to fight different types of cybersecurity issues. And XDR, FileVantage, these are 2 new places that they're competing. They claim their addressable market, they said this at an analyst day recently, will be $106 billion by 2025. To me, that warrants the stock growth. And this is a stock that's gone up 4 times since pre-COVID. I think you stay there.